How to remember customers' names. It could be the key between making hundreds of more dollars a night. So out of all of the things that I've ever done to try to remember somebody's name, because this is very important, seriously, to make money, the number one thing that you can do is when you meet somebody to say their name over and over and over in your first interaction with them. Now, most of these guys you will probably never see ever again, okay? So we're not going for a let's remember their names for the rest of our lives kind of thing, but at least for the next maybe few days would be great, because if they're from out of town, they could be coming back in to see you. Chances are, if they're going to come back to see you, it's going to be within a few days, not within a week. Most people don't travel out of town for work for more than a few days, in my experience, so I wouldn't worry too much more beyond a few days. So let's say you walk up to Joe. You walk up to Joe and you say, "Hi, my name's," whatever you pick it for your name. And you ask him what his name is, and he says his name's Joe. And you say, "Hi, Joe, nice to meet you." And he says whatever, and then you go into a question. "So tell me, Joe." And then you ask your question. I should be coming up with sexy answers here, but I'm just doing this off the fly. So after he gives you his answer and you guys talk for a little while longer, when you're going in for your close, when you're going in to ask him to dance, say his name again. It doesn't really matter when. It doesn't have to be then. It could be at any point, but you want to remember this guy's name. So just at some other point while you're talking to him, use his name again. I'll tell you what, Joe, it's been quite a day. Doesn't matter. Just try it 3 times, maybe 4 if you can get away with it without feeling kind of weird. And I'll tell you something that will happen by using their name over and over is they will want to remember your name. When you repeat their name back to them, and preferably soon in the conversation, they will realize that you are making an effort to remember their name, which will immediately make them want to remember your name. So they might go ahead and they might ask you your name again if they have already forgotten, because most people will forget. So if they ask you your name again, say it in a very seductive, sexy way. You want this person to remember your name. Now, if they turn you down later in the night, you can approach them again and say, "Hey, Joe, I've been thinking about you," or whatever it is that you want to say. And I can tell you from personal experience that just that alone, remembering somebody's name, has gotten me a lot of extra dances, especially if you say their name again when it's the next night. If you see this person again the next night and you walk up to them and you say, "Joe, you came back to see me, didn't you?" Chances are that is going to spark something in their mind that is really going to make them interested in you, because you went out of your way to remember their name. Now, if for nothing else, do this for yourself. I'm not saying to do this, to make other people happy, but do this for yourself. This can really benefit your entire life to remember people's names. I've heard that people's names are the sweetest sound in the world to them. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I've heard it too many places to ignore it at this point. So try to remember people's names. Just keep that in mind. Say their name over and over and over again in your first conversation with them, and you will most likely remember their name. Now, here's another thing that is very important. If you meet somebody that spends a lot of money on you, which you will, if you find somebody, especially and particularly that you enjoy spending time with, that spends a lot of money on you, here's what you're going to want to do. Trust me on this. You are going to want to immediately, after they're gone, pull out your cell phone, whether you have to go to the dressing room to do this or the bathroom, or just do it right there on the floor. I think it looks bad to do stuff like that on the floor. I would never do that. I would go to the bathroom. I wouldn't go to the dressing room because there's too much drama in there typically, but I haven't been to your club, so I can't say for sure. I would go somewhere privately, immediately pull out your cell phone and take notes on that person. The best way to do it is Evernote. The best way that I know of to do it is Evernote. Download Evernote. It's free, and you can take notes on this person. So you say just met in your tagline, and then you give the name. And you go into what this guy was like in your notes. You say he's from Texas, he does XYZ for work, he's approximately this tall, his hair color is this color, his eye color is this color. You want to remember what the guy looks like too, because chances are you could forget. You don't want to forget what the person looks like. So take notes on how he dressed. Was he dressed nice? Was he dressed not nice? You don't want to spend all night in the bathroom taking notes on this guy, but if somebody comes in and spends $600, $700, $800 on you, hell, even if they spend $300 on you, or maybe even $200 if it's not a busy night, and you have the time to go ahead and take the notes on this guy, you want to take notes on this person. You want to remember them. That way the next time they come in the door and you see them, you can hide, pull out your phone, look up the details on this guy. Does he have a dog? What was he passionate about? Whatever. Get a recap on this person, remember their name, and then walk up to them and say, Joe, you came back to see me. Hey, tell me, how's your business been? And you go into whatever his business was, or something that was important to him, or whatever. You get the idea. This has helped make me a ton of money, to remember clients that have spent a lot of money on me and to remember the details about them. They are not going to expect you to remember the details on them. So if you do remember, you've got an exponential shot at making more money from them. So that's all I got from now. I hope this helps. Bye.